All right. So today we're diving into a book that's, well, it's been pretty life-changing for a lot of people. Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. And it kicks off with this really radical idea. It says that the source of all our problems, and the path to real peace, isn't found where we usually look. It's not in digging through the past or trying to map out the perfect future. Nope. It's found in one single place. So, let me just ask you something. Right now, in this very second, where's your mind at? Are you kind of replaying a conversation from yesterday? Or maybe stressing about that to-do list for tomorrow? Or are you actually here, fully present? Come on, be honest. Because Tolle argues that the answer to that simple question, well, it holds the key to just about everything. Okay, so let's get into the first big idea. This is really the heart of Tolle's diagnosis of, the human condition. He argues that our single greatest obstacle to happiness is something we do all day, every day, and that is thinking. That probably sounds like a weird question, right? Is my mind my friend? Of course it is. But is it really? Tolle wants us to take a hard look at what's actually going on up there. That little voice in your head, is it your biggest cheerleader? Is it calm and supportive? Or, if we're being real, is it more of a harsh critic, a nonstop worrier, always cooking up the worst-case scenario? And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Look, he's not saying thinking is bad, not at all. The mind is an incredible tool, right? It's amazing for solving problems and getting things done. The trouble starts when we can't switch it off, when it's not us using the mind, but the mind using us. And this is the state that, honestly, most of us live in, and we don't even realize it. Tolle gives it a name, compulsive thinking. You know what I'm talking about. It's that nonstop monologue in your head, that endless chatter, judging, commenting, worrying. It's what constantly yanks us out of the here and now. It's like we're listening to a narrator describe our life instead of actually living it. And here's where it gets really serious. The real problem is, we think that voice in our head is us. We completely identify with every single thought, every little judgment, every fear that pops up. And when we do that, we create this kind of false mind-made identity, what he calls the ego. And that, right there, is where most of our suffering comes from. So, that leads perfectly into our next part. If getting lost in our minds is what creates the suffering, then how exactly does it do it? Well, the main tool the mind uses is something Tolle calls the illusion of time. Now, Tolle makes a really important distinction here. On one hand, you've got clock time. That's the practical stuff, right? We need it to set meetings, plan trips, function in the world. But then there's psychological time, and that's totally different. It's a pure creation of the mind. It's when we're mentally living in a past that's already gone or stuck in a future that isn't even here yet. So what happens when we live in that psychological time? Well, it's pretty much a recipe for misery. All that guilt, regret, resentment, that's all fueled by the past. And the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the fear, that's all about the future. Think about it. None of those feelings can actually survive in the present moment. And this is such a profound but simple truth. The past, it's gone. It only exists as a memory, a thought you're having right now. The future, it's not here yet. It only exists as a projection, another thought you're having right now. The only thing that is ever, ever real is this moment, the now. Okay, so if the mind and its obsession with the past and future is the problem, what's the solution? Well, that brings us right to the title of the book and the heart of this whole thing, The Power of Now. I love this quote because it just cuts through all the noise. Just think about it for a second. Can you actually have a problem right now in this very instant? I don't mean in 5 minutes or what happened yesterday, but right now. Almost always, what we call a problem is just a story our mind is spinning about the past or the future. Real life, it's only ever happening in this one moment. This next idea, it's maybe one of the most powerful and freeing statements in the entire book. You ready? Here it is. You are not your mind. If you can be aware of your thoughts, if you can hear that voice in your head, then there has to be someone else there, right? Who is the one doing the hearing? You can't be the voice and the one listening to the voice at the same time. Which, of course, leads to the big question. If you're not your thoughts, and you're not your emotions, and you're not all those stories you tell yourself, then who are you? Tolle's answer for this is being, capital B. It's your deepest self. It's that quiet, still, peaceful awareness that's always there, just underneath all the mental noise. And the best part is, it's not something you have to go out and get or achieve. It's who you already are. The only catch? You can't think your way there. You can only feel it by being present. Now, all of this might sound a little out there, maybe a bit abstract. So how do we actually do it? How do we get out of our heads and into the present moment? Well, this next section is all about the practical how-to stuff. The number one technique is to become what he calls the watcher. Imagine your thoughts are a river flowing by. Instead of jumping in and getting carried away by the current, you just sit on the riverbank and watch. You just notice the thoughts as they come and go, without judging them. You become the silent awareness behind it all. And it's actually way simpler than it sounds. You can try it right now. Just listen to the voice in your head. Pretend you're listening to someone else talking. Don't argue with it, don't judge it, just observe it. The second you do that, you create a little bit of space. And in that space, you realize, hey, there's the thought, and here I am listening to it. That simple realization, that's the beginning of freedom. If watching your thoughts feels a little tricky at first, don't worry. Tolle gives us another amazing way in, the inner body. Seriously, just for a second, bring your attention to your hands. Can you feel the life, the energy inside them? Without even looking at them, just feel them from the inside. Now try your feet. This super simple exercise instantly yanks you out of the chaos in your head and grounds you right here, right now. So what's the point of all this? What's the big payoff? In our last section, let's talk about what actually happens when you start to make this a habit. What's life like on the other side of all that mental noise? It's pretty simple, really. Freedom. When you bring your focus to the now, you cut off the fuel supply to your regrets about the past and your anxieties about the future. All that self-made suffering, it just kind of dissolves because the thing that kept it alive, getting lost in time, is gone. And what's left behind is just peace, stillness. And you know what's so great about this? You literally can't fail. The very moment you realize, oh man, I've been totally lost in thought for the last 10 minutes. Bam, you're present. That realization is presence. You woke up. So the goal isn't to stop thinking forever. It's just to stop being a prisoner to your thoughts. So we're going to leave you with one final, pretty mind-bending question from the book. Just sit with it for a moment. If you dropped your next thought, if you just let go of the need to label or judge whatever comes next, who would you be? In that quiet little gap, that space between thoughts, that space is the now. And according to Tolle, that's where you find, well, everything.